Hey everybody, Happy New Year! It's 2021 and we made it!
Yeah.
But before we, get on with the new year, we have to talk about 2020, the year that was the worst year ever.
Boo!
So, let's get into it. Here's our theme song. Hit it. 5 dudes. Reviews. 5 dudes. Reviews. 5 dudes. Reviews. 5 dudes. Reviews. Yeah! Hey everybody, welcome back to the 5 Dudes Reviews podcast. Tonight we're going to be talking about 2020, the year of the dumpster fire. It was a bad year in a lot of aspects. There was some good things that happened as well.
A little highlight.
Tonight we're going to kind of just, it's a free forum tonight. We're just going to kind of talk about a lot of different things that happened during the year and personal stories and observations. And I guess, guys, right off the bat, how was your 2020?
I can't think of one thing that happened this year.
All the days seem to have melted together.
What happened? What? Yeah, what was that? I can't remember what that was.
Yeah, something was going around.
Oh, it was going around all right, and still is.
Yeah, it was like the year that stood still.
It's something that COVID obviously is something that people in our generation never thought we would ever deal with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every 100 years.
It's crazy
like
too. For a year that we couldn't really do much, it flew by fast.
It's true, actually. Yeah, like being in Los Angeles, we had quarantines and shutdowns and all kind, and we're kind of going back into it at some, with the winter and everything. But yeah, in an odd, strange way, it maybe it allowed you to be with your family a little more, and
that was
unfortunately, friends not as much. But
yeah, that was one good thing about
like,
it. I think you got a lot of people have said that they've gotten a lot closer to their family.
Definitely.
They've gotten to do more activities with their family and stuff like that. But
Yeah, you think when Time Life or Time puts out their person of the year, it's just going to be like a Zoom screen.
Thank God for Zoom.
Probably.
Yeah.
Their stock is skyrocketing apparently. Anyway.
Yeah, it should.
I mean, look at what we're doing right now. Whoever thought that we wouldn't be face to face, we would all be Zoom podcasting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird to think of all of us actually in person again podcasting. I can't wait for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really missed that. That's kind of one of the things I was talking about to you guys earlier, how it's like it sucks that we're not all together. And I don't know, for me, the chemistry's there when you're all together, we're having a good time. We're not that it's not now, because it obviously is for us, but there's that little extra, camaraderie you share.
Yeah, but let's say something like we did this year, which was like a spicy chicken sandwich challenge podcast. It's like being there in person.
Yes.
Like opening the sandwiches and like you go George, you go Ted, you go Brett, you go Billy. It's I don't know. It's just being there and doing that in person is so much fun. Seeing each other's reaction.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you guys have
Definitely not
any
the same.
idea how long this would last? Would you have ever guessed that we'd be at the end of the year? Like,
No.
So
honestly,
I went back and listened to our Corona update podcast.
Yes.
So-
When was that?
So Billy had said it would be over in June.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
Darth
God.
Brett said August and September we would probably be going back to work and everything would be get back to I said September. So we're still not there.
Yeah.
In the beginning in March we thought that's the crazy thing. Like, I remember I said in that podcast, like, oh, when it hits our military, it hits our government. It's like, at the time you're watching the news of China and like, there's just body bags being rolled out. You thought that once you got it, it's a death sentence, which it is for some people, but it felt like a zombie apocalypse kind of thing. Like, if you get it, you're going to die. I mean, it's definitely not good, but at that time, even the CDC didn't know. Does it stay on surfaces? Is it airborne only? They didn't say masks at first. Should I wear gloves? Like I was saying, oh, I'm wearing mask and gloves. George was like, oh, I'm just wearing a hoodie and gloves when I go in store. And like George said on the podcast, I can't even find a mask if I wanted to wear a mask. Like at that time, it was really hard to even find masks. People had hoarded them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
it was just
It was
interesting, like going back to that time capsule of a podcast, only a few months ago. But
It feels like a lifetime ago too. It feels like it was a long time ago.
Yeah, jeez.
well, yeah,
It's
because
crazy.
everything was so uncertain, and like we
Yeah.
were talking about riots that really hadn't even started yet. Like Billy had bought a gun. We had
Oh,
talked
wow.
about what if riots happened, like what would happen to like movie theaters and concerts, and we saw how that turned out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there was so much unknown, which still is, but it's just crazy how things have shifted from the way we get our entertainment, the way we're going to continue to get entertainment. And
Sure.
for guys like us who love going to movies, it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So you can rent your
Yeah.
own theater. Did you hear?
Yeah,
AMC
I've
is
heard
doing
that- I've heard that.
for $99. You can rent the whole theater and probably
Really?
you
And
know,
all
social
three of you can
distance.
go watch a movie.
You social distance your friends. I mean, now we're going
But would
into
you-
another spike, but it'd
But
be really
would you
hard.
want to hang out with your friends in a movie theater? Like say 10 friends.
That's
or whatever.
true.
Isn't that
It's
kind of
like-
weird? You'd feel, I don't know. I would question that. I don't know why I would, but
Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
I
the,
would like
I mean,
to
it's
do it.
it's a pretty awesome thing to think of. I mean, well,
Yeah.
yeah, what would you do? Have to go like every 4 rows and you like wear a mask
Right.
and you lean back
Yeah.
and like wave to your friends? It's,
Yeah, it's
Really,
kind of a different
you wouldn't be able to
experience.
talk or anything, really.
But I think all of
Yeah.
us are doing. Do they call it podding? POD. Podding. And it's like
Yes.
basically you're just hanging out with your family and that's about it. I mean, some of
Yeah,
us have to go to the
right,
store,
right.
but we're
There's-
not like really seeing each
Yeah.
other in person.
well,
so.
and in Los Angeles, a lot of the theaters are closed. But Billy, like you went and saw Tenet, like with your brother. Did you feel safe? Like, how full was the theater? Did you guys wear masks in the theater? Like like that's an experience that we haven't had.
Oh, you wear a mask until you get into the theater, and like we went on a Tuesday first showing at like 11 o'clock, so there was no one in there, and they had actually roped off every other aisle, so you did feel like you were fine. Like even if there were other people in there, I feel like you were spaced apart enough where it
Right.
wouldn't be a
Yeah.
big deal. I just wish that movie was better, so I would feel like it actually was worth it.
That's what I heard, man. I heard it wasn't that good.
I've heard
No,
that too.
it was not good.
It
so
sucks.
you know, I mean, if I would have got Corona because of that movie, I would have been really pissed.
Oh, God.
You would have wanted your money back.
Oh, more than that, would have wanted a personal apology from Christopher
I was-
Nolan.
Yeah, I was gonna go
Andy.
down to Irvine because Orange County's movie theater's open for in the summer.
Mhm.
I was gonna go see Tenet in IMAX, and I just never got around to it.
Yeah,
I
Well,
kind
you
of wish
were
I
lucky.
would have. Well,
You're
I kind of wish I would have, just because I wanted to see a movie. Like I wanted to be able to see something on the big screen this year, because
Yeah.
this is the first year I think since probably I was like a year old where I actually didn't see a movie on the big screen.
yeah. Well, I had friends of mine who, you know, we were talking about movies going earlier, and like I had friends of mine who would go see like they were showing like Jaws and like Harry Potter and like all these old movies for like
Okay.
$5 just to get people out because they
Yeah.
didn't really have anything to show.
Yep.
I mean, if you were a movie this year that came out, good luck. I mean, you know, it wasn't very many. I think maybe that Russell Crowe movie came out. There was a Kevin
Unhinged.
Costner movie just came out. Like most of the stuff came out on video, like Bill and Ted and Trolls. You know, now we're
Yeah.
talking about the whole HBO Max release of every movie that was supposed to come out coming out on.
Yeah. Although, like, did you hear Warner Brothers AMC's like talking to Warner
Yeah,
Brothers?
they're trying
get
to-
them to like not do it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I mean, I
Oh,
don't
wow.
think it's going to work. I mean, I don't think theaters will go away like we think they will, but
No, I don't think
it's,
they'll
it's,
go away
it's a huge,
forever.
it's a huge blow. And I think what they're doing is an insane idea. And I'm curious to see if other studios are going to follow suit.
Well, they're going to
I'll
have
say
to
this
because
right now,
how are they
it's
going to
not gonna
make their
me
money?
Get HBO. Like, I'm not going to see any of those movies.
I'll definitely, dude, I definitely will because I'm not going to the theater to see them. And honestly, with kids, it's a lot harder for someone like me to get out to them, even to a movie, and you know when they are
Yeah.
safe
Right.
and open.
I'm with
Yeah.
Brad, I'm with Brad on that one. It's a lot easier for us to stay at home and watch a movie than it is to go to the movie theaters because you know
How much
is
is HBO Max cost per month?
I want to say
It can't
like
be that much, right?
$10.
I don't know, 10,
think,
15
if
bucks?
that.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
like
not much
$14.99.
money.
Yeah, I
compared
mean,
to going
when
out
you
to the
have-
movie.
So I have, I guess, is the movie like a lot of big movies I want to see like on a big screen.
No,
and
I
then-
agree.
I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
we
all do.
Have a desire to
look.
see
I
it,
mean,
so.
look. We started this podcast basically because we were 5 dudes who would go to movies and have drinks before and talk about movies. So it's like, of course, dude. I
Yeah.
want nothing more
Yeah.
to be able to like go to
Totally.
a movie, especially with you guys, and like go to a fun movie together.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing like
Yeah.
that experience together in a crowded movie theater. But I mean, right now that's just out of the picture.
It
and
is.
to see these title movies. I mean, dude, it's like Wonder Woman, Dune,
guess-
the new Matrix, The Conjuring. Like these are like huge movies that
It's
you're going to
true.
be able to see at home.
I guess what I was thinking was, I think HBO or Warner Brothers, I should say, Warner Brothers is hoping everyone will get HBO and like subscribe, and I don't think that's going to happen. A lot of people are going to be like me, probably be like, no.
I disagree 100% with that. Dude.
I disagree too.
Yeah,
man.
because no one wants to go and risk getting them or their families sick over just watching fucking Wonder Woman. I'd rather just, to be honest with you, I feel more comfortable at home watching it. Again, don't get me wrong. I would love to go to the movie theater and like we used to and drink and have some fun and some burgers before. But it realistically, right now, that's not going to happen, dude. And get this
I'm
statistic
not saying
though. No. But listen.
There's another option available. There's not. I think what I'm saying is it's not going to be the big. Like Brad said, movie theaters aren't going to go away. This isn't going to
they're not.
change.
I don't think they are.
You think people will be like more like, I've got Netflix. That's been my savior through, COVID, and they'll be good with that?
Yeah, kind of. I don't think a lot of people are going to rush out and get another subscription service if they don't already have it.
Yeah.
Just for a couple of movies.
Go ahead.
That was it.
My viewpoint is like if you have a family of 4, you're spending $100 to see Wonder Woman versus $10 or $15 for a subscription for the whole month. You know what I mean? Like
with 99-cent store popcorn.
Damn, skip.
My curiosity is going to be: is this going to be a shift in people's opinion on entertainment of, well, let's say in a year or two when we do get back to like full open theaters, are people just going to say, well, no, I'm not going to go back to it, I'm just going to wait for it to come to my house because that's what I'm used to now?
I think for me, the movie going experience will never be replicated at home. It's just not going to be the same watching a movie on a 55
it's not big enough.
as opposed to
I agree.
It's like live sports.
Yeah, so for me, I personally, it'll never be it's not going to be ever the same watching a movie at home as opposed to watching it on the big screen. It just won't. It doesn't matter how. It just doesn't matter. It's not going to be the same. And for me, the movie going experience, a big part of it, seeing it like on a huge screen with the sound. That I don't know. There's more emotional power to it. I'll say like there's more weight to it seeing it on the big screen. So I think that's lost.
I'm not going to lie that originally I said
there's no other
that
options right now, but for me personally, it's not the same, and it won't.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can ever replicate an experience of an enormous screen and sound system. But like what we unfortunately have at the moment, it's like
maybe our only
I'm actually shocked that they're actually releasing all these titles that they've spent so much money on. But at the end of the day, these studios are owned by huge corporations, and they got to raise their stocks.
That bottom dollar speaks fucking volume to those.
Like they got to make money, and this probably shows how bad. Tenet cost a lot of money to make. This probably is because it didn't do well, like at the theater.
I think I guess the point I'm trying to make is for like, let's say, I'll just say Dune. I'll use that as an example. I wanted to see that on the big screen. Now that it's not coming out on the big screen, I probably am not going to see it for a few years. I'm not going to rush out to get HBO Max just to see it because it's coming out. Whereas if it had been released in the theater, I would have gone out and bought a ticket just to see it on the big screen.
Dude, do you
probably won't see it right away now because it's not going to be on a big screen.
Do you know how beautiful that's going to look on your smartphone?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Brett doesn't know. He has an Android, so he wouldn't know. Oh, snap!
It's not smart.
I mean, I think it's all a matter of convenience. I don't think maybe 3, 4, 5 years down the road, you're probably going to see maybe one theater chain left, and you will probably see like an Alamo or like a standalone theater that has like special events or special screenings. Yeah, but like I just don't think a lot of theaters are going to come back from this, and I think rightly so. There probably won't be enough need for multiplexes anymore. Maybe just one or two, maybe one chain. Maybe AMC buys everybody out and just becomes the chain if there is a need for it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is going to change everything going forward. People are going to stay at home. It's a lot easier. They don't have to move a muscle. Things are cheaper, and that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of agree.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I think like retro stuff always comes back. Like let's say vinyl's popular.
Vinyl.
Now. I'm sure like 10 years from now, let's say movie theaters go away for like 5 years. 10 years from now, people are gonna be like, let's bring them back, and they'd be like, you'll start seeing them pop up again, like
drive-in.
stuff.
You know,
But
I was just
drive-ins
gonna
are
say
getting
that.
popular now
Yeah.
because of this.
But guess what hasn't come back?
What?
Video stores.
Damn you, Blockbuster.
Please come back.
People said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just rent it at home.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, look, me and Brett are definitely like physical media guys, as we've talked about in a podcast. Like, there's nothing more that I want to like go see a movie at a theater. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I feel like the industry was waiting for something like this to happen to make a major switch. It's almost like, being in post production. You guys know, like when the tsunami hit, it wiped out tape stock.
Yeah,
so
physical
it forced the industry to change from tape to file-based services.
Yeah.
So it's like it takes one thing to wipe out an entire format or a way that something's run to
It's
adjust to current times.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only difference, that's a great like point about the tsunami and how it changed like that. The only thing I'll say is that didn't change. Like this is like different because it's like the way you experience something. Like,
Yeah.
In terms of not how something is made, because that's like that was like pre-production, obviously. So I don't know if like people aren't going to forget how it was to experience something on the big screen.
No,
or,
but it's kind of like Billy just touched on, though. It's like, it's faster, it's cheaper. Dude, we live in a time where with social media and the internet, it's like people want it and they want it now, and they can watch it in their home, and they can order it VOD directly on.
Yeah.
What are they calling it? The microwave
It's like,
generation?
It's like having Amazon Prime and the new Borat movie came on. You're like, oh, it's Friday. Wow, there's a Borat movie in my living room.
So cool.
I don't have to go to the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess my hope is a lot of people are more like they want to go to the movie theater. Obviously, we can't right now, but I hope that's not lost. I hope a lot of people.
I don't think so.
I don't think it'll be lost,
more
but
normal, and they can go back to the movie theater. I'm hoping a lot of people will be like, I want to see movies on the big screen again. I don't want to like.
I doubt it'll be lost.
Normal.
I think what Billy said, it brings a true point where he's saying that a big company like AMC or something buys out the rest of the movie theaters, and it's just
it's like one. It's like a Netflix or like a Blockbuster.
I can
It's gonna
totally
be,
see that happening. Yeah.
Yeah, it's either like one big umbrella that has like all the major movies, and then you have one chain like an Alamo, like Billy said, that has like the indie movies and something like that. I mean, look, people are still going to go to the theaters.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to happen. I just don't think it's going to be on the level if they keep the same kind of distribution and release, where it's like either same day in home.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be like, why am I going to get in my car and drive? But people are lazy, dude. People want to, fat out on the couch.
Yeah. Which, again, you can't, whatever. I don't blame people for doing that. If that's what you want to do with it yourself, do it by all means. But I would love to go back to a movie theater and be able to watch a movie.
Me too.
The experience is, there's no other experience like it. Especially like you said, with like we used to, a bunch of us go and have a beer and a burger and then go watch a flick. Yeah.
Yeah, seeing a comedy with a packed crowd or a scary movie with like a group of people.
That energy.
Where else
It's like a
can you
different
go?
energy.
Sit next to someone, fart, and then be like, "That guy did it."
Exactly. Where else can you go and a guy's on his smartphone the whole time talking to his friend, and you can't listen to the movie? Who wants to pay for that? Me.
Exactly. I do. Because I'll be the asshole that throws a pocket full of change at him.
Oh, I remember
that.
Well, do you think that people became more concerned about COVID once they found out Tom Hanks and his wife had it?
It made us do a podcast. I'll tell you that.
Goddamn
Sure.
right.
Yeah.
I think that was the wake up call. When I heard that, I think I texted you guys.
You did.
Dude, Tom, because you think, dude, Tom Hanks is gonna die.
Yes,
it's like,
dude, seriously.
It was such a weird thing, but yeah, I think in a weird way, it has to affect like a celebrity in our country, since we don't have royalty. It's like once that happens, it's like, oh, it's real.
Anybody could get it.
And you notice now that like they're announcing that like
3
sports
things happened
guys
that
are getting it, and we're just like, oh, okay.
Yep.
We've kind of become numb to it.
All at the same time that we're kind of like, oh shit, like this is real. It was Tom Hanks getting it. I think this all happened within a 24-hour period.
Yeah, it was like way in the
Tom
beginning.
Hanks
Yeah, it
getting
was.
it.
Well, look at him
to-
now. He's fine.
I think there were like 3 or 4 NBA players, and then Major League Baseball like stopping the season.
Yeah.
Like, those 3 things.
That
it
was-
like,
that was
oh,
huge,
shit,
man.
Like, this is like serious.
Yeah.
man.
So you started the year with those really awful Australian brush fires. It killed. I mean, you'd see those pictures of like the koalas being rescued from
Yeah.
the
It wiped out a lot of
trees.
wildlife, man.
It's terrible. And then and then you had the West Coast was on fire this year a lot. There's a lot of wildfires out there by you guys, and it
Yeah.
made everything uncomfortable out there.
Yeah,
and
still going.
smoky, and
You can
and
smell
then
it.
Trump set fires before he left. The White House.
Oh, shit.
I mean, thank God that's all over with. I mean, even though it's not really, still got that dude still around. But anyway, at least some of it's over with.
Yeah, I mean, we all saw things this past year that we know, like you said, like Brett, like baseball completely canceled for a moment, or
Yeah.
movie shut
Delayed
down.
for 3
Yeah,
to 4 months.
just things you never thought would happen.
Yeah, I mean, thank God
not-
for sports.
Not for that reason, for sure. Yeah.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say that sports was one of the big highlights of the year.
Yeah, I mean, thank
Yeah.
God.
Thank God
sports
for the
came
LA
back.
Dodgers
Yeah.
winning the championship. Woo!
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. The Dodgers won.
That was one of the
Yay.
big bright spots for me. was
And the Lakers.
Yeah,
Yep, Lakers
exactly.
winning
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
really
they
cool.
win it within like a few.
That
weeks.
is, I mean, that is pretty crazy for Los Angeles. Like that's amazing.
I mean, who knew the NBA was going to be like the most smartest league ever? I mean, like they put all their players in a bubble and everything worked out fine. You
Yeah.
barely had. I don't even think they
Yeah.
had one player test
I
positive. Did they?
don't
I
think
don't
so
think
either.
they did once they started playing in the bubble.
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wish the NFL. I mean, it's amazing that we got an NFL season. I did not think
Right?
we would have NFL
Same
or
here,
fantasy
dude.
football, but
I did not
yeah,
think
I mean,
so either.
I really wish that they would have followed that bubble system.
Yeah, it worked
Yeah.
out well for the NBA.
I'm surprised football didn't do what baseball did because it wasn't a bubble, but it was kind of like a semi-bubble where the East teams only played the East, the Central only played the Central, and West only played the West. Like
Right.
Yeah.
that made a lot less travel because traveling obviously is a
Yeah, it's a big
huge
one.
reason why people get COVID. It spreads because
Seemed like a major
Listen-
operation to get sports up and running, but a lot of the major sports things
But then
were able to get up
the
and
NBA
running.
Yeah.
season. It was supposed to start back up, but like I think I just read 10 players got tested positive
Yeah.
yesterday, so now
Mhm.
they're gonna have to probably delay the start of the NBA season this year.
I mean, they're big
Well, I mean,
money
the Su-
makers, right?
The Super Bowl was
Okay.
really good. I enjoyed the Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs. That was a good Super Bowl. I enjoyed
That was
that.
great.
Yeah,
It feels
was
like
a
it was
good
10
Super
years
Bowl.
away. 10 years ago, but it was
Feels
a
like
good
it.
one.
hmm
Yeah, it's where the
Um,
Super Bowl happened. Then it's like next month, COVID.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because that was
Crazy.
fun. I remember, it was around St. Patty's Day. You started hearing things about,
Yeah.
restaurants going to close down. I remember at work, we were like, are we going to be open next week? Like, it's St. Patty's Day, and we're starting to hear things about we might be shutting down. All of a sudden, next week, I think it was the week after St. Patty's Day, everything
We
was shut
locked
down.
down before, right before St. Patty's Day.
Okay, we were like the week after St. Patty's
Okay.
Day.
Because I was supposed to go
Yeah.
to St. Patty's Festival, and that got canceled the Friday before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same here. We were supposed to go out
Like
and we ended
LA
up not
locked
going.
down that week before.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
And then-
All the
March.
concerts started canceling and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
and then a week later, no one had toilet paper. Everyone was out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah, you'd think it was a fucking diarrhea COVID that was going
panic
around.
buying.
Idiots.
So
Yeah, man.
stupid.
That was one thing I missed, man. I love going to concerts. I had tickets
Oh,
to
my
a Pearl
God.
Jam show.
Oh,
I had
yeah,
tickets to
dude.
Dave Matthews Band, and
Oh, your faves.
all these shows I go see in the summer, and it's all about shows. I mean, the only good thing about no shows this year is there's going to be a ton of shows this summer. Hopefully, maybe around August, September, when things can kind of maybe get back to a little bit of normalcy. I hope. I don't know. Maybe not now. I don't know. But I mean, when live music kicks back up again, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do think.
I saw I think Guns N' Roses already booked dates for November, like huge stadium shows, like overseas. I'm like, man, okay, well, good luck. Hopefully that happens.
November next year.
Yeah, 2021.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's overseas though, so I mean, maybe overseas has different policies about what they
Yeah.
do, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
I will say
I mean-
music. I think the music industry is better off than the movie industry right now because I think you still can do concerts outside, where people just stay in their cars.
Right. Honk your
Or
horn.
you can just go in a parking lot and they can build a makeshift stage, where everyone's isolated. So
I think Ticketmaster now is making it where you have to get a test before you can buy a ticket to something.
yeah,
I mean, that's going to be hard to
I think,
pull
for a
off.
while.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so what did you guys miss this year the most?
Seeing friends and going to
Yeah.
movies and
Yeah.
concerts.
I agree. Yeah.
For me,
Absolutely.
going to movies, seeing family and friends, and then like going to baseball games or like Disneyland, like just doing stuff there I normally did, like where I was outside, like, you know, getting away from escapism type stuff, like a concert or a game or, you know, Disneyland,
Sure.
whatever, or something, you know, park. Just getting away and like decompressing, like relieving stress, and not having that was
Yeah, I think there's a lot of
tough this year for me.
you know,
Like,
isolation. You know, some of it's good, you know, for us, and we can be introspective and whatever, work on things. I got to work on my house this year, but I do miss just like the, you know, just interactivity with people, and
Yeah.
you know, I didn't work most of the year. It was pretty tough financially, and you know, kind of made ends meet, and luckily there were programs to kind of help out with that. So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you miss birthdays, you miss hanging out with people, holidays. You're like, well, I guess I'll see you next year. Next year we'll make it a big party. You know, we don't. That's, you know, not for certain. You know, and like there were times I couldn't go see my mom. I was like, I shouldn't come over.
Yeah.
Like you know, that's
not a good idea.
crazy when that happens.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I guess you know it will hopefully never have to see these kind of days again. But I mean, it kind of makes you definitely appreciate everyone around you and want to see them
100%.
more, you know? So, I mean, that's definitely what this year did. It just made people appreciate people more. I mean, if that's one thing that came out this year, made people, you know, a little bit more thoughtful about everybody that they know and want to be with people. So not be so selfish and think about themselves, you know, because that's another problem we have.
Yep, the summer for sure is like a time for like seeing people and barbecues and parties and stuff like that. So it blew by. The summer just kind of
Yeah, it blended into everything else. Like it seemed like the days were just blending into each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Faux show.
One of the holidays I really like hanging out with everyone, inviting people over, is 4th of July. I love 4th of July. Just hang out, play
4th of July,
cornhole,
Labor Day.
grill,
sure.
just have a good time.
Drink bottles of tequila.
Bottles of
Ooh.
tequila.
Not so much.
Some bomb pops.
Yeah, I mean, that's what was crazy. I think we
Yeah.
kind of thought like, oh, by July, like maybe we'll do the 4th of July, and it's like,
Yeah,
no.
exactly. We wanted to host like a huge party and shit, but it was like, nope, can't have it.
Yeah, the first lockdown, I thought that it would get squashed within like a month and a half. I thought by June 1st, like, we're going to get a handle on this.
Yeah.
And it's really crazy thinking about, you know,
Well,
how that all went down.
yeah.
We were talking about movies earlier. I mean, honestly, I feel like last year I was kind of down on movies. I feel like this year I'm still down on movies. I mean, the one that I went and saw, we talked about earlier, 10 I didn't like. I didn't really see a lot of movies that I thought were good. Some things I saw, Palm Springs, that movie on Hulu, the Andy Samberg movie, that was pretty fun.
I want to see that.
I like the new Borat movie. I thought it had its moments. I mean, it was okay. But I mean, most of it, everything I saw was not great. I mean, TV was so much better this year.
Yeah.
I love. I mean, Last Dance was probably one of the best shows this year. The Michael.
Ooh.
Beat it.
Michael Bolton.
Michael Bublé.
You know which Michael I'm talking
Michael
about.
Bolton.
Better
Twofer.
Call Saul was great this year.
Okay.
I love that show, and that's just. I wish it was on more, but I mean, obviously, COVID, everything's COVID.
Yeah. Boo.
There was a Tim Heidecker's Eric Wareheim
Still
show
haven't
called
seen
Beef
it.
House on Adult Swim. That was pretty fun.
Beef House? Oh, I like that name.
Yeah, it's fun. Curb this year was really good. Ozark was really good. The Boys. Ted
Excellent.
likes The Boys. George likes
Love
The
The
Boys.
Boys.
Brett, you guys seen The Boys?
I haven't watched it yet.
It's terrible.
I have not seen it.
That's good.
It is so good, dude.
I want to watch it.
Please, Brad, I beg you, watch it. You will love it. I guarantee you.
The thing is, like, there's just so much content now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Put that at the top of your list. It's
Yeah,
good.
dude.
Yeah.
You would
I like there's a lot of good like crime shit on this year. Like there was a couple documentaries on HBO. One was called "I'll Be Gone in the Dark" about the Golden State Killer.
Yeah.
One was called "Atlanta's Missing Children" about the Atlanta child killer. Those NXIVM documentaries. Have you guys heard about the NXIVM stuff? That
No.
stuff's cool and weird. And
What channel is that,
interesting.
Billy? What channel is
That's
that?
HBO. It's like that sex cult that got busted.
Oh,
on
yeah,
there.
yeah.
The girl from Smallville was in it. But I mean, the best show this year, my favorite show this year was on Hulu. It was called Pen 15. It's these two comedian actresses who are in their 20s who play themselves as middle schoolers, and it is hilarious. I watched 2 seasons like within a day. It was so funny. If you get a chance, my favorite show of the year was Pen 15. Check it out.
For me, one cool thing about this podcast is I get to, share my lists and views and things I've seen with you guys, but also I get to listen to you and get recommendations on
Yes.
stuff. And
Yes.
when
same
we
here.
did the original streaming shows, I think Ted mentioned Cobra Kai, which I'd heard great things from, and I am now completely caught up. I've talked to Darth Brett about this. I'm not I watched the Karate Kid movies growing up, but I wasn't a huge, it's something I would never really go back and watch. But man, this show is just it's shockingly well written for what it is. It's funny. It's the throwbacks to those old films is great. I don't know, man. It's an easy watch.
It is.
Very.
I can't wait for season 3. I mean, and 4. I think they've announced 2 more seasons. But
I watched it again. It came back to it came to Netflix because they bought
Yes.
bought
Right,
it, and then
That's how I watched it.
I rewatched the whole thing. I
Yeah.
originally watched it on YouTube Red, I think it was called.
right,
So
right.
yep, can't wait.
Dude, it replaced not replaced, but it dethroned Stranger Things. It became Netflix's biggest show.
Wow. I mean, dude, who would have known? I mean,
Yeah.
it feels cheap at times, production value wise,
agree.
but
Yeah,
I kind of, in a weird way, I feel like that adds to the
That's
cheap.
true.
Does 100%, Brad. It
Yep.
does.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And living in the valley in Los Angeles, it's like Ted said, oh, there's this in Northridge, there's this in Encino,
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
You recognize
they're
all these landmarks. Yeah.
yeah, it's just
That's pretty
it's a lot of fun. So
It is.
that's one. The other one was I hadn't seen Tiger King. I know it's dated from last year now, but man, I couldn't that's a true binge show. I couldn't
Isn't
wait
it
to watch that.
Crazy. Same here.
Oh, George might have mentioned that. It was just fascinating.
Yeah.
This, you couldn't write these characters. It was
Right.
crazy.
It was a good time too, right? It was right at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was really it was like a train wreck. It was such good
You
watching.
couldn't stop watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a cool thing now with I feel like everyone's kind of watching the same thing at the same time. It's
Yeah.
like The Last Dance. Everyone was watching that Michael Jackson documentary.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good.
Escape, good escapism.
I mean, dude, that Jordan documentary was so well done, and that thing wasn't even done when it came out. They jumped it up because there was no sports, so they rushed that documentary
They
to
did.
get it out.
Yeah.
So Tiger King was great. Ozark season 3, I absolutely love.
Amazing.
The Outsider, which George recommended, man, the acting in that and the writing was so good. I'm not going to give a spoiler. There's a certain actor that died way, way earlier than I thought would happen. So for me,
Didn't that
that
just
kind
blow
of-
your mind?
it
You're like,
did. So
"What?"
it did. It just kind of in a weird way didn't ruin the show, but it was kind of close to I thought we would follow this actor further along than what happened.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was interesting. I just kind of wish this actor would have lasted longer.
Right. Right.
Has anybody else seen Outside? I think Billy saw it.
I liked it, but it had its moments in the middle that really didn't go anywhere, and I like the way it ended. But yeah, the middle was pretty up and down for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I was super crazy about the ending, but I don't know. George,
yeah.
George, did you watch through the credits of the finale?
yeah. They left it open
Okay.
almost like they're
Yeah,
having another season.
There's something that happened to that girl that
Yeah.
Billy didn't watch through the credits, so I told him about that.
Yeah, yeah.
If you do watch,
no need for a season 2. No need.
no, I agree. But I'm saying if people do watch it, just hang around and watch the
Yeah,
credits of
watch the
of the
credits.
finale.
Yeah, I'm with
movies
you
that I
on.
saw-
I'm sorry, Brad. I'm with Billy on this, where he said I don't think there's a need for a season 2. I think they pretty much, now I wouldn't say exhausted the
There's just no
story,
point.
but there's exactly.
You already know what this thing is
Yeah.
and what's going on, so you kind of know the premise. But I think HBO passed on it, so they might be trying to go elsewhere. But yeah, it's like you guys, like there's one and done for me.
Yeah, same here.
Movies that I saw, theatrical movies, which were VOD, I guess. The Invisible Man, I really enjoyed.
That was great.
The Hunt was a lot of fun. The new Bill and Ted movie I saw.
I'd see
You know, it was actually good. Did anybody else see Bill and Ted?
No.
No.
Not yet. No.
I
It
don't
was just
know.
good to see like a silly, fun movie again. Like especially with these times, like a lighthearted. It's not the best movie, but you got Bill and Ted back. You know, it's kind of fun to see that. Dude, the John Wick movies. For some reason, on Black Friday I bought all 3 Blu-rays, so like I'm on a John Wick watch again. I love those
Oh
movies.
my god, Brad, I think we watched all 4 movies in like a weekend.
John Wick.
Yeah, Amy and I hadn't seen them before, and we
Oh,
literally sat there and watched them all. It was it's
There's 3.
such a great ride. It's unbelievable.
I need to watch those.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
They're a lot of fun, great action.
Yeah.
Older movies that I've gone back and like bought Blu-rays and watched movies this year that I hadn't seen in a long time. Out of Sight, George Clooney, Jennifer Lopez,
Oh, shit,
great movie,
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
so great. Blowout, the Brian De Palma, John Travolta movie. Deliverance, I watched that again. It's great. Documentaries that I watched this year: the McMillions documentary on HBO about the Monopoly scam by McDonald's. Highly recommend.
Documentary.
Oh, I didn't see that
Dude,
one.
it's so. I think they're making a movie like Matt Damon or Ben Affleck or one of those guys. I think.
Wow.
If you haven't seen that, definitely watch
McMillions,
that.
where's that at?
When did that happen? Like, was that in reality? Like, when did that happen? Was that like, I don't remember.
Like the 90s.
Oh, was that long ago when that?
Like,
Yeah.
it was happening like early on in that contest, and nobody knew about it.
What, Brad?
Yeah.
Brad, what channel is that on? Do you remember? McMillions?
HBO.
Okay.
It's a
HBO.
HBO.
Okay.
Nice.
The Aaron Hernandez documentary on Netflix I watched this
That
past
was
year.
Sounds good.
That is
dude. Wow. I saw that one.
fascinating. Crazy story. There's a Brian De Palma documentary on Netflix, which is really good. Beyond the Mat,
Wow.
we talked about in our wrestling
Yes.
podcast. And I recommended it. And I was like, you know what? I haven't
Sad,
seen
dude.
that in a while.
Oh.
It's back on Netflix. I watched it again, and man, it's fascinating. Like it's just Jake the Snake and that whole storyline between him and his daughter and
Yeah.
just his life,
So
man, fell
sad.
apart. It's sad.
Yeah.
Belushi, there's a John Belushi documentary that just came out, which is very good and very depressing.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I
You saw it? Wow.
What is it?
Is it about
saw
his
it,
whole
huh?
life or just like his?
Yeah, it is.
Like when he was famous?
There's things that I didn't know, about his dad and his family, and
Mhm.
him and his wife, and then obviously the end, which is
Yeah.
sad.
Watch
But
that. I like John Belushi.
yeah, it's got a lot of great interviews from people. So you hear Aykroyd and Lorne Michaels and people
cool.
who worked with him and knew him and his
Nice.
wife, and
Yeah.
and then last was the Beastie Boys story, which was a lot of fun and
That was
another sad ending,
awesome.
but it was very well done.
Very well done.
Having
That was really good.
Followed them
Yeah.
for so long. It's I feel like in a weird way we got a lot of good content this year, which was surprising that stuff is still being produced.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one mentioned Parasite, which won the Oscar for the best movie of the year.
Mm-mm.
I liked Parasite.
I don't even remember what that was about. What was
Still
that?
haven't
Korean
seen it.
family.
I mean, it's basically.
Oh,
I mean, dude,
I haven't even.
it's very fitting in the world we live in with like Trump and everyone else. It's like class. It's like class. It's like different orders of class and
Gotcha.
people.
Okay, I'll watch it. Fuck.
Hopefully
Yeah,
on some
it's all
streaming
right,
now.
but I don't, again, like best movie of the year. I don't know. Was there a best movie of the year? Probably not. I don't know.
I don't know
Once
at this
Upon a
point.
Time in Hollywood for me, but
That was
I
great.
enjoyed Parasite.
I did watch that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I'd say it was probably Hubie Halloween.
Oh man,
Yeah, I
Adam
tried to
Sandler
watch
movie?
that, dude.
I did see that. I did see
Yeah, it
that.
wasn't
Dude,
as bad as I thought.
Did you watch it all?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did.
Watch it for the
shit.
mom's T-shirt she wears. That's the only reason to watch it. That's
I
so
think I only got about 15 minutes in and I turned it off.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Adam Sandler's just, man. I mean, after
Maybe I'll
Uncut
do some
Gems,
edibles
you
and
know,
rewatch it.
Right.
yeah, he spit out like 2 diarrhea movies after Uncut Gems, like that Jennifer Aniston movie, and then this one is just like, oh my god, stop,
Dude,
just
he's got
stop.
that deal with Netflix, so like
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
movies are on Netflix now, and
Yep.
most
Yeah.
of them are bad. Like,
Well, dude,
Yeah.
you know he's probably got complete Final Cut and total control over him. So
Sure.
it's like,
He's living
And
a
he's
good
getting
life.
you know,
some
he-
fat cash too from that.
Yeah, works with his friends.
yeah,
It's not a bad
What
thing.
Sweet deal for
what the other dudes see this year? What any things you guys recommend?
What you guys had mentioned. I saw like a Jim Carrey documentary, like when he was doing the Andy Kaufman
The Andy
movie.
Kaufman?
But
Yeah.
I don't even know that was this year, but it was really good.
it wasn't, but it's good.
Yep. And then I've been watching a lot of The Office, Glee, and Vampire Diaries.
Let's go back a little. What was that other one?
Glee.
Oh wow.
Really?
All right, guys. Thank you for joining
Well,
us tonight.
Well, I'm watching it
What is
with.
it
I
like?
didn't watch a lot of. I didn't watch a lot. Like I just.
Well,
started
I've been
getting into
influenced to
TV
watch
shows
those
again.
shows.
Ah.
We'll just say
yeah, I
Like
watched.
what's good about Glee? The musical numbers?
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I watched Pitch Perfect 1 and 2. If
What were you talking about, Brad?
No comment.
What's that?
What were you talking about?
I was saying I didn't start watching a lot of movies until like in the last month, or I should say TV shows, because I was watching baseball pretty much every day during
Yeah.
the summer.
Mhm.
But I did watch Cobra Kai. That was a lot of fun. Binge watched that, and then I can't decide, but either The Boys or Mandalorian's probably going to be my next like 2 watch.
Oh, I still haven't seen Mandalorian. I watched the first Mandalorian. I hear this new season is really good. I
Yeah.
need to watch
It's
that.
excellent.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that and The Boys, those 2 are like my 2 like priorities.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
boy.
I got to see that.
those
Hey,
should
back to
definitely
Cobra
be-
Kai. What's that main actor? That main character, the blonde, the bad, or the Cobra Kai. guy?
Johnny Lawrence or
Yeah, so the Johnny
What was
Lawrence,
that?
I love how he is still stuck in the 80s.
I love
the
it.
car,
Yeah.
the
It's like
music,
absolutely
like,
music.
his
His
train of thought,
mentality,
just
right?
thinking of, it's so good.
It's kind of borderline, chauvinistic and
Oh yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, he's got to get with the times on things, and he doesn't know he
Totally.
hates smartphones.
right.
What was that one
That and the
thing where he's
computer
like,
too.
"Get
Send
it
it to
on
the
the
internet."
internet." Like,
Yeah, it's so good.
like he told the kid to like, he doesn't know what Facebook is or like social media.
So there, yeah, I don't want to give a spoiler away, but it seems like they're teasing a certain character to come back in season 3 from
Yeah.
the films.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be fun if they actually got that person to come back.
So I would
I'm
say
pretty
there are
sure,
a
like,
handful
they
of
have to be, right?
being a
Yeah,
fan
I
of
would
Karate
think
Kid.
so.
There's a
think
handful
they
of
would've made that
characters
tease.
that they are kind of like they can bring back, and it would be fun, storylines to kind of revisit
agree.
and conflict and stuff like that. I can't wait.
So I heard that one guy who was, in the episode was dying of cancer actually had cancer and passed away.
Oh,
he did.
He did
I
not.
didn't know.
think
He did not look good in that episode.
Yeah. I guess he died right before the episode aired.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
which really
man.
sucks.
died before it
Yeah.
was
I
available.
mean, that's pretty cool that he got to do that.
That was awesome. Yeah, and he was one of the guys from like the movie from the early
Yeah.
movie. He wasn't just
Yeah.
some made up
He
dude.
was that whole like Cobra Kai group.
Yeah.
Was there except for that's not a big spoiler, but one of them wasn't there, and it's in real life Chad McQueen's son, Steve McQueen's son,
I
Chad.
think he wants to be in the show, but he couldn't do it because of racing. He's like a race car driver,
Oh, okay.
but he like wanted to do the show. So he's like, they said like he could eventually like make it into the show. Like
I'd
it's
like
just up
that.
to his,
That'd be
like,
pretty
racing
That guy was
schedule.
an awesome heel, in the original movie.
Yeah, I think he
It's,
said he wants to be in the show. He couldn't do it because his racing schedule wouldn't allow it.
It was
Yeah.
What about you, George? Were you seeing anything good?
pretty much everything that Brad talked about, because Brad and I have talked about like shows that we were watching, and he recommended a few
Yeah.
to me, and then I recommended a few to him that he ended up watching. But yeah, just The Boys, Outbreak. What else am I watching? Oh, you know what? You guys are gonna fucking stab me for this one, but we're watching that Walking Dead. What is it?
The new
Beyond
one?
or whatever.
Okay,
Uh,
not good.
I don't know, man. I
Mhm.
like you want to like. I think the only reason we're watching it is just to fucking watch something, but it's not
Yeah.
even like
Mm.
it's
Is it giving clues about those helicopters or like
Yeah.
those? Like, is it give?
it's
like-
yes, it's tying. I think it's trying. That one's trying to tie all three together.
Okay.
What is what
Okay.
I'm getting at, and they're
Is this the
eventually
one
going to
with
get to where Rick
Carol
is
and-
at. So I mean, I don't want to spoil it. I don't know if anyone's
Okay.
caught up, but
I think
I'll never
eventually I
watch
will
those
catch
shows.
up.
yeah,
So-
I
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't know why I'm even watching it. To be honest, there's times I'll lose myself in Instagram while we're watching it, and it's just.
Nice.
And it's weird because you watch other shows and instantly within 1 or 2 episodes, you're like already married to the characters. You're like glued in because of these characters and you give a shit about these characters. In this one, it's like it's hard, man. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I tried to watch Fear the Walking Dead, and dude, I lasted like half a season.
It was a snoozer.
Yeah.
It was,
I didn't
dude.
even watch
Same with me,
that
man.
far into it.
We even went further than that. We went a whole season, and then after that, we were just like, okay, I don't want to come back. Like I don't.
Yes,
care.
I don't care about these people.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch their story.
As opposed to say,
Yeah.
like Stranger Things or The Mandalorian or The Boys or something like Cobra Kai, where you immediately are enthralled by these characters. You're like, oh wow, what's gonna happen? What are they doing? Oh, I like this guy. I hate this guy. It's like the Johnny Lawrence character. You want to root for him, and you're
Yeah.
like stuck. You want to watch the next episode and see what happens.
Yep.
Again,
yeah,
I
you
don't
get
wanna-
invested.
Yeah,
totally.
But in these, I don't know what it is, man. I think they've outlived their shit. I guess I don't know.
I
We're not
agree.
their welcome.
I totally agree. I stopped watching
Yeah.
Walking Dead, and then I just haven't picked up anything new.
And it's
in that
sad because
world,
the Walking
you know?
Dead was so good. Like I remember
It was good.
episodes where we would talk about it constantly at work, and
Yeah.
we were just like,
It was must watch TV for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we'd put little bets together and stuff like that. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
You know, back
Cool.
then.
Yeah, we had the pool, remember?
yeah.
Are you still watching?
We
it,
set the
Billy?
pool. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't very. I'm glad that the one story's over this year. I'm so tired of the whisperers.
Yeah.
But I mean, this.
Yeah.
At the end of this one, I was like, oh, more characters. I'm probably gonna hate. I'm not excited. I mean, I want to see it end, and then I don't know if I'm going to go forward with the Carol and Daryl show. I just don't know if I care.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
sitcom. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, well, maybe I'll watch it then.
Yeah.
I mean, the show was as good as like those adversaries were for a long time. It's just like, okay, we're kind of traveling, looking for stuff. Here we come up on another group. Are they good? Are they bad? And it's just like, once Whispers hit, like even before that, like Saviors was kind of like a downhill for me. Like I thought Negan never became like fully realized. He kind of became a better character later, but
I liked the Saviors when they first came out, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh boy, this is getting boring.
Mhm.
yeah,
Well, it's because you it's like very formulaic. They keep doing the same shit.
Yeah.
Like,
it is.
how many times are you going to meet up with these bad people? Like, eventually you're like, okay, I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I'm done with this. It's,
Yeah, kind of got stale
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Another reason why I
couple of-
didn't.
Go ahead.
Another reason why I didn't really start a lot of new series, I'm kind of like just like on one series at a time, is that this is totally on a different subject, but UFC was like great all year. They were able to keep it going even despite the COVID. They moved fights to Abu Dhabi, so I got ESPN Plus, and they have like content on there all the time, new stuff, old stuff to
Yeah.
watch, and even like a lot of free fights. I would say there's free fights every weekend now. 3 of the 4 weeks. So I've been watching a lot of UFC this
Yeah,
year.
same here.
It's been pretty
Well,
amazing.
they kind of did what the NBA did, where they moved to they bubble them for like 6 weeks, and they're constantly testing them, and then leading up to the fight. So
Definitely.
that's another a plus for sports because
Yeah.
you get something.
That was another sport that was able to continue, and it's pretty exciting. They're kind of going through like a little bit of a changing of the guard because a lot of
Yeah.
the old guys are getting too old and stuff like that. So a lot of new guys are coming up.
Kind of
and
like
stuff
in
like that.
wrestling, how it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another
How
show
many
that
people?
Go ahead,
go ahead,
Brett, I'm
George.
sorry. Well, no, I was gonna say I forgot to mention another show that I'm watching on HBO is it's called Titans.
Yes. Okay.
I've heard of that.
It's pretty good,
Yeah.
man. It's like super violent. There's like nudity, and it's crazy. It's almost like comic books you grew up reading, and they were very vanilla and just bad guys wearing masks and this and that, and then you make a show out of it and you make it rated R, and it's like holy crap.
Wasn't that like on the DC like network or something? like that?
Yeah, but
So
I
what
think
happened?
that failed miserably, and
Oh.
then Warner Brothers just merged it together with HBO Max.
Great.
And wow, the show's really good.
That's cool.
I wouldn't put it up to the boys standards, but it's like
Okay.
a few notches right below it. It's
Right.
pretty good.
Yeah. I'm vested. I love that comic book, so I think I'd want to just knock that one out.
You guys
Prob-
watch the
Yeah.
Watchmen TV show? Was that
Yeah,
new?
on HBO. Yeah, that was great, dude. I loved it.
Yeah.
Is that coming back, or was it just a mini series?
Well, Lindelof said that he's not coming back. His story's done. That season was it for him. So if it comes back,
Okay.
I don't think he doesn't want anything to do with it.
Is that on Max too? Watchmen?
Yeah, you can watch it.
Oh shit! I gotta
It's
get
pretty
this. I gotta get this network.
There was some pretty good music this year. Pearl Jam put out a good album.
All right.
The Strokes, Fiona Apple, Haim. Stupidly, I turned on the American Music Awards one night, and I was like, let me just see
No.
if I know anybody on this show. And immediately I was like, oh, I'm 80 years old. I turned it off. I was
Right.
like, well,
Yeah.
award shows mean nothing to me anymore because
True.
they don't represent what I listen to.
True.
But it's just sad.
Who-
The
who
Rock
was
and
the big
Roll Hall
winner,
of
like
Fame,
Billie Eilish or someone?
I don't care. Don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Post
Dude, you want to
Malone.
try something
Post
even more
Malone.
sad? Turn on like an MTV award show. It's you'll know no one,
Yeah,
Right.
it's
MTV
sad.
has an award show?
don't they?
I don't know. Like, I thought they canceled that because they don't have music videos anymore.
I don't know. I think they still have their VMAs or whatever their like music. You know,
Yeah.
you're never
you
gonna
see
get
that
a lot.
Play music videos.
Did you see that thing on Twitter? People were posting, it's like, thank you, MTV, for 14 years of playing music.
That's awesome.
I'll admit, I
So
like
bad.
I like Dua Lipa, and there's also Halsey. They're both really good singers. I know it's kind of like
Who?
poppy.
Halsey hosted
Halsey's been
SNL.
around for a while.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah,
The only reason
they
I
do stuff
don't-
out.
Only
think-
reason I know them is because of my daughter.
Right,
Amy,
exactly.
So it's like, if it
Halsey
wasn't for
did
them,
like
I don't know
a
anything.
duet with Machine Gun Kelly. Is his name?
Yeah, Forget Me Too or whatever.
It was good. Good song.
Let's see. Well, there were a couple of really good music documentaries. There was a Go-Go's documentary that came out that was
Oh.
pretty good.
Ooh.
On what?
And then David Byrne, I think it was on Showtime. David Byrne did a show called American Utopia, and I'm a huge Talking Heads fan, and that was on HBO, and they filmed it they did like a Broadway show of it
Nice.
for a while, and that was really good. But yeah, I mean, I just, this year was a good year to just put on some headphones and just go for a walk. I mean, get out of the house for a little bit, get some vitamin D, and I've been listening to a lot of just like Brad was talking about watching old movies, like listening to old music, like, you know, a lot of stuff to catch up on and stuff you hadn't heard in a while. Put it on shuffle and see what happens. And
Nice.
I feel like
Yep.
in a weird way, it takes you back to a time where like you have better memories. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
It's
You want a
no-
little nostalgia,
It's
man.
nostalgia.
Yeah,
Yeah, in a
totally.
weird way.
yeah, well,
This
the
should
Rock
have
and Roll
been-
Hall of Fame was this year, and you know, Depeche Mode got in, and
we're
Duran
done.
Duran's still
Yeah.
not in because Depeche Mode got in. How does that happen? How is Depeche Mode so big? I don't
love
understand
Depeche
why
Mode.
they're that big of a band.
Yeah, I've never been a big Depeche Mode fan.
I mean, they have a
I
couple
always
of good
liked them.
songs, but I mean, like, Jesus Lord, like, they are not that influential, are they?
I think they are. In terms of like new wave and like alternative rock, I'd say yeah, they are. But I mean, they still put out new music too. So
Yeah,
they're one
but
of the few bands that have been around for almost 40 years now.
Yeah, they were kind of
dude, I know
early
people
new
love them.
wave. You know,
I
synth
love
pop.
them. Like, I think they're one of those bands too that like their sound changed, but they still stayed pretty. Their quality didn't like take a dive when they would change their like sound.
Yeah,
Like some bands, like kind of like they change their sound and then like they're just not as good. I don't think Depeche Mode had that happen.
I like them. I think they're
what
good.
about you guys? Any music you guys recommend or you listen to or music you hate?
Oh shit, I'm digging
You know what I know?
the new Busta Rhymes album. Have you guys heard that?
No,
It's
No.
fucking awesome.
that's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool.
If you're into like some old school hip hop and not to the garbage that's out right now.
Trap and
Yeah.
all
Oh
that kind of
god,
stuff.
shoot me in the fucking face. Yeah,
Hmm.
like old school hip hop, good classic, good beats.
Busta Rhymes, that's
Busta
cool.
Rhymes, listen to it. It's awesome.
Nice.
I think you guys will dig it.
There's a band they kind of got big on alt radio this year. Like they're called Dayglow. They're kind of 80s sounding, but they're like indie rock.
Dayglow.
I like that. Their album was
That's
really
cool.
good. I thought.
I'll have to write that down.
really, the only music I listen to is in grocery stores because that's the only place I go. So if you like Huey Lewis and the News, I love
Yeah,
Huey
dude,
Lewis.
we were
That's a
talking
big
about
one.
that, Brad. That's
Right now.
right.
Yeah.
I recommend The Power of Love. Check it out
Yeah.
if you haven't heard
Yeah,
it.
dude, I heard Def Leppard. Fucking Def Leppard at
If
the grocery store,
If
dude.
this is it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I started looking at lists at the end of 2020, so I was looking for like the top like metal albums of 2020 to see what was new out there that I could sample, and I came across that Night Flight Orchestra, which I passed to you guys. It's really weird that 80s, very 80s style band. I thought it was an 80s band, but they're brand new,
Oh shit.
and I think they're from
Yeah.
like Sweden or
What
something
is
like
it?
that. Night Flight Orchestra,
Night Flight.
and they
I like that stuff that you
yeah,
send.
I mean it's very derivative, but man, do they craft a good song. Like they have, their whole album is full of great songs. So I really recommend that one to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the best metal band of the year was the Murder Hornets.
Yeah, that's right. They were
My
out,
favorite
dude.
metal band. Metal.
What happened to the Murder
What happened
Hornets?
to them?
I think they're still around.
Yeah.
I mean, they're finding nests of them and trying to knock them out. That way they don't
Where the
reproduce
fuck?
or
Where are
kill
they
somebody.
finding
But
these? Where are they? Are they out by you,
They're not-
Billy, or?
I think they
They're
found some
Washington, I
in
think.
Washington. Yeah, but I
Winnetka.
mean, I'm sure they're probably still out there somewhere.
A great
They're-
band.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I heard they're not so much a danger to people really. It's the bees is what.
Oh yeah, they like decimate
slaughter,
the
they
bees.
massacre
Save our
bees.
bees, please.
Save our bees.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I
'cause bees
heard
are like
they-
important for like a lot of stuff.
I think they nested in Giuliani's hair during that press conference,
shit.
and that's what you saw.
That was
Giuliani's
amazing.
face.
Oh,
That
shit,
was pretty
their
bad,
down,
dude. I
dripping
thought he
down.
was fucking melting, bro. I was like, what the
Dude, that
fuck?
was so creepy. Like, what happened? Dude, he used to be like America's mayor, like 9/11. He was
was.
like this huge hero. It's like he has lost his mind,
He's
dude.
fucking
Yeah,
crazy,
it's like-
dude. Just
I
old
don't
people
know.
shit, dude. That's what happens when you
2020,
get
man.
old.
Yeah.
2020.
Sad.
Well, since 2020 was such a down year, let's talk about something that's a down topic. There were some deaths this year.
Oh yeah, dude.
Most notably was probably Kobe. That was
Yep.
probably the
That was
biggest death of the year.
tragic.
Yeah, that
bro.
was
It was.
shocking.
Tragic.
I couldn't
Yeah.
believe that.
And that was pre-COVID. That was what, like January
Yeah,
when
that was
happened?
January, man.
Yeah.
That shit, it didn't hit me or didn't hit reality till like way after, like months after. Like it just didn't seem real. That was really weird.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know. Like I followed his like career with the Lakers. Like I saw him drafted into the Hornets and they
Yeah.
getting traded to us, and just watch him blossom from just some kid to pretty much the second coming, and it was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I love watching his highlights now.
Yeah,
It's-
same here. It's just unreal,
yeah.
and just just the fact that his daughter was with him was
Yep.
unreal, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
as a
awful.
parent, it like resonates you with you a little harder, I think.
I mean, I think
Definitely.
if you could look at any like high note in that whole thing, which it's extremely hard, is that the Lakers won a championship and they did it for him. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
Totally.
Yeah.
like how awesome is that they won the same year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty huge, man.
It's one of those things I feel like you know where you were when
Yeah,
that
oh.
when the when the
Dude,
news
I know
broke.
exactly where I
Me
was.
too.
Yeah.
100%.
And
I thought it
I
was
got
a
an alert
fucking-
on my phone, and
yeah.
I turned on the TV. Right, it was like, is this
I
true?
thought it was a
Is this-
hoax, man.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh my god, this is tragic.
Because there'd been like shit like that before too, where they were saying, "Oh, what was it?
Originally, they thought that someone reported, I think, out of Florida, that like all of his daughters were on the
Yes,
helicopter
yeah,
with
yeah.
him. Like
Yeah.
that was debunked. Like, thank God that wasn't
Yeah.
true.
Exactly.
So I had heard that he's not the only one of like that caliber of player that takes helicopters. Like what they're trying to do is save time. It's just like he's like,
Oh, dude,
well, I
I'm
can
sure
sit in
LA
a
all the
car,
time.
right? I can sit in a car and like waste time where I could just take helicopter and be with my family a half hour later or whatever. So
Yeah.
so he'd go from
it's
Orange
very
County
common.
to
It's a very common
very
thing among
common thing,
athletes
yeah.
to do that,
That's
especially
what
here in
Bob
California.
Barker did every day to go to the Price is Right.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he took a helicopter.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was huge. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, come on,
Like,
look at pre-COVID.
and Kobe Bryant lived in Orange County, right?
Yeah.
So it
Yeah,
took
we're
about
not-
3 hours to
Well, like-
drive.
It's like
Well, yeah, look
Costa
at
Mesa, maybe?
pre-COVID, dude. For just going from, let's just say, Burbank to Hollywood, or from
Yeah.
Encino to Hollywood, you're on the freeway for like an hour, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Now-
terrible.
Yeah, now you're there in like 20 minutes.
Terrible.
for sure.
Alex Trebek recently died.
Oh, man.
That was
Sean
sad.
Connery.
That was harsh. Man.
Sean Connery. Eddie Van Halen.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
tough one, man.
That sucked.
Little-
Dude.
Legend.
Little Richard.
Yeah, Little Richard. Chadwick Boseman. That was shocking.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And the fact that he didn't tell anybody either, that he kept that bottled up, it was
Dude,
crazy.
I saw a video of him like this is after he died, and it was like the last public appearance I
Yeah.
think he had made. It was like in April. I can't remember. I think it was for Jackie Robinson Day,
Yes.
and he looked like he didn't look good.
At
But I
all.
hadn't seen that video until after he died. But like when you watch the video, you're like, oh shit, yes, you could tell like something wasn't right.
Yeah.
Like he looked like he had lost like 100 pounds. Like
Yeah.
it didn't look like him.
Wilford
Yeah.
Brimley, he's a podcast favorite.
Diabetes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
diabetes.
R.I.p.
Was it diabetes?
Yeah.
Diabetes?
It wasn't.
It was,
It wasn't beaties.
Death by oatmeal. Regis Philbin.
Yep.
Regis died.
Big one.
Oh, I forgot he died.
Kelly Preston, Travolta's wife.
Oh, weird.
famous
Yeah,
actor.
that was another shocker.
It
I mean,
was,
that's
man. That was crazy. Was it
No one
her? She
knew.
was. It was cancer too, right?
Cancer.
yeah,
Breast cancer, yeah.
yeah.
Carl
Terrible.
Reiner died.
Terrible. Carl Reiner.
Joel Schumacher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Willard.
Fred Willard?
Jerry Stiller. Brian Dennehy.
Brian Denny.
That's
Wow.
Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers.
I love this
Christ.
chicken, bro. Fuck.
Kirk Douglas died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Lipton, the host of the Actor Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Brett will know how to say this. I don't know. Ennio Morricone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ennio Morricone.
Yeah,
Legend.
yeah, he died.
Yep.
Great scores.
And Harvey Weinstein died, or
Yeah.
maybe he just will die.
Charlie Daniels.
Charlie Daniels. Okay.
Charlie Daniels, yeah.
How
Devil
about
finally went down to Georgia.
Yeah, he did.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Grant Imahara from MythBusters.
Oh yeah. Holy
know
shit.
that guy?
That's right.
That's right. He died.
I used to watch
He had
that
like a
show.
brain aneurysm or
Yeah.
something like that. Terrible.
Yeah,
Pretty
he
young
died,
guy.
like it was a weird, like freak guy.
Yeah, I got Whitey Ford,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of baseball deaths.
Yankee
this
great.
year.
and I've got David
Big Rock
Prowse,
died.
Darth Vader.
Roy.
That's
Roy
right.
from Siegfried and Roy.
Oh,
He
that's
died
right.
this year?
Really?
Seriously?
Is it serious?
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Roy-
Holy
Roy,
shit.
Roy Horn.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he
That's
died
crazy.
like a few months ago from COVID, I
Wow.
think,
From
right?
COVID. Oh my God, terrible.
Yeah.
Did he die
Yeah,
from
he did.
COVID?
He did.
Yeah, I thought he. Yeah. David Prowse died from COVID. Wasn't he?
Yeah, he
Prowse?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Alan Parker on my list. Great director.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
Diana
right,
Rigg
right. He died
from
too.
Avengers and Game of Thrones.
Avengers.
Who?
Yep. She was the
Diana
only
Rigg.
James Bond's only wife.
Older woman.
Oh.
George Lazenby. James
I'll have
Bond
to
movie.
look her up.
That's it for my list.
Sad, sad year, bro.
Yep.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, at the reflection of the year, I mean, we're all still healthy. None of us are sick, and our families are in good
wood.
standing. And, we're all just trudging along. That's all we can do until we try to figure this thing out. One day at a time.
When we can all podcast together.
Yeah. What was something like we may have talked about a little bit, but like something you look forward to? Mine are like, I want to see people again, like in an environment where you're not just like paranoid about every little thing that's going on.
Yeah.
I want to go to concerts. I want to go on a vacation,
Yeah.
like somewhere where I can actually like do
Yeah.
things, and, just, I don't know. It's,
Yeah.
it's weird, man. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have the same wants.
I agree.
You
Yeah,
know,
a foam party
and-
in Ibiza.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
yeah.
I missed that.
I mean, look, it's going to take a while. We'll get there. The country's going to recover, of
It will.
course, but
Oh, yeah.
it's just it's just patience at this point.
Totally.
Yeah. I've had to
Yeah.
cancel so many orgies. Just
Oh.
people.
My
People
God.
are not coming out. Any last words or words of wisdom to our listeners? Hopefully they haven't driven their car off a bridge.
Welcome to
depression.
2021.
Yes, please.
That's right.
It'll be. It hopefully it'll be beautiful.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm hoping for
things
good
are gonna
things.
get
Good
better.
things.
And if not, well, you have us to listen
Exactly.
to.
You still have us. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get you through. Don't worry about it.
That's what we're
That's
here
the
for.
sound of the car driving off the cliff right now.
Good night. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Five Dudes of Views podcast. Be sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Libsyn, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, and now YouTube. And while you're on there, be sure to download, rate, and subscribe. You can also check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Five Dudes Views. And we also are on Facebook. Everybody out there, stay safe. Until next time.